So, you got the bubble gut, you got the gut sticking out there. A lot of bodybuilders have that, pretty much all the big ones do. And I've always had a massive ab wall that makes it look like a gut if you can't see the skin there and what actually is going on. So for a long time, I've worked out on my abs all the time since like the 90s. Breaks here and there maybe, but definitely focused a lot there. So I've always had this massive wall of abs. So I got the bubble gut syndrome too. And you can do your vacuums where you suck in and you train that. But that doesn't work very well when you're a martial artist or bodybuilder or anything where you're trying to work out, because you can't. I mean, you can. I do sit there and I do vacuums and suck it in while I'm doing all this and stuff. But in fact, like some might argue, that stiffens up and makes you, it gives you that iron armor protection and stuff to flex like that. But I feel like whatever is most natural works best in the end. And breathing, a lot of people like to incorporate breathing. In fact, I'm one of the only people out here who says how important is that, versus all the other things combined into it. Because they always teach you, hi, ha, 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 ha. And I argue that I can't do, I mean, I can, it's kind of natural, but I don't sit there and go, start making some beats or something, chop, kick, launch, chop, kick, block, punch, punch. Anyways, not the point. The point is, though, that I think that's important there to be able to remain free and breathing, so not always be like doing that. But that can kind of help train it to pull it in and stuff. But what I found out recently is I found a machine that's used to, I think it's used to do your glutes and your hamstrings. And, shoot. So anyways, I do it reverse. So I go back farther than that, right? I don't have a ball right here I want to touch. But I go back all the way down to the ground to where my back is arched like this, like this, but reverse. And so I started doing that with body weights, and right away that pulled everything into place and stuff. I needed to do that because I'm always doing stretches for my midsection and stuff like that. Therapy and stuff I have to do. So I'm always trying to work at it from different angles. What they taught me, because it's real boring to do the same thing for decades and stuff. But so I started doing that, and then you can do that with weight too. But that, coming back here, focusing on using the abs to pull you up, right there. Focus on that pull. It works better if you got the machine or you got a wall and you trust, or you just trust yourself without a wall to go further back. So the further back, whatever's comfortable for you and you can do it, further back and down, the better you get that pull. And just when you pull, try to focus on pulling that in. Stretch, I feel the stretch down here. But it should be hitting that last bit. And I do that with all my motions and stuff. I always try to get that last bit. And I've been doing abs for like 30 years. So, I'm learning something new still. And I'm inventing new stuff at this point. It's really hard to learn something new. Like, no one does tibialis videos, right? Tibialis videos. No one talks about that. And never seen anyone talk about this, and I probably followed everyone in the fitness industry since before most people in it now. Young people in it now are probably alive. But you get that full stretch there. Like, look how much of this motion that we are not using. Don't know if I can do this without looking stupid and falling over. But when I go back here, I was doing it slow, so I couldn't do that. But trying to stay safe. But I don't want to fail unless I'm doing my obliques. And then that time I pulled up going to that side. And you can pull up going to the other. Just don't train your obliques a lot because that's what takes away the V shape. You end up with something that looks like freaking love handles, but it's just masses of muscle. So you go back all the way that you can, and then you pull that forward with the abs. And now you're hitting like I don't know, like 50% motion you've never hit before in your abs. Think about that. We go from here to here. We go from here to here. We have all the way from here to back here that we have never once focused on. Think of a gymnast. Perfect. Ballerina. Perfect. Their bodies built perfect. They do stuff like that. They get to the end of everything that most workout people get nowhere near even getting to the end of. And they don't train for that except for they do those things, right? But they don't. I guarantee you that I've never heard a trainer say, hey, this is an ab move where we go all the way back and all the way forward. And there's other motions like that too, where it's neglected, like the tibialis. We train the calves and we don't train the tibialis largely because I guess like it's so unused that it kind of hurts to. It may cause imbalances from what I read. That was an excuse anyway, so whatever. Back to the abs. We got that full 50% of the motion we've not been using. And for me, once I did that, it took like 1 month of doing that on a machine. It helps me support my weight. You get a stretch machine, but work out too if you don't need hundreds of pounds added to you. You get that full stretch all the way back. We're getting there. Obviously, we're compressing the lower back too. And we pull that up. We use that ab wall. We focus on that. We use that to pull up. And see, with the machine, you can pretty much go all the way up to here. But with me standing, I'm only getting like a slight thing. But I'm assuming that even that slight movement that you've never done will be more effective at fixing the bubble gut and continue to work on your abs. Because, like I said, 1-2 months, I knew right away, like, this is going to work. But I was doing it for other therapy stuff too, but I knew right away when I felt it, I was like, oh, I've never done this before. No one's ever done this. And now, got the secret to abs fixing that bubble gut, getting that full stretch going in there. Of course, not eating more than you need to and cutting back if you got fat covering it is always going to be the number one thing for showing your abs off. But the secondary thing is overtraining the abs to where they are so large that you look fat if you have a shirt on and stuff. And it looks bad on stage when they got the bubble gut and they're posing and stuff like that. So you fix that with your vacuums. You use the muscle to train it to pull it in. Fix it with good posture, bending that lower rib cage in and extending back the upper rib cage and training those muscles. And that should fix a lot of your problems. It did for me. I could tell right away from the shape that I had changed because instantly I'm like, wow, those decades of work now it's like a shirt on. I don't look like I'm fat. And I don't think I ever really did because I I like cut back when I get there. But you see, I'm cutting back on my training. And while the training progresses and gets further, that is what makes, a champion and a person who's just progressing. That's kind of like the point sometimes. Some people are okay with where they're at. They just want to work out a little bit, never have to worry about getting out of shape. That's fine. But if you're training, like, to be better, do better martial arts, lifting stronger, things like that, then that doesn't ever, when does that add up to not work on it as hard as you can? You're not working on it hard because you got the bubble gut and you can't have any more abs because your abs are so defined and built that it looks freaky and kind of crappy. And I'm telling you, right away, I think within 4 weeks, I knew right away that was pulling me into the position that it should be at. And we're sitting at computers all day. It's like this all day. And we're totally neglecting this entire back thing throughout our daily lives anymore. I can't even walk around with one of these phones because how, like, I can't be out here. I can't position my posture back here and walk around and train myself if I got the phone in my hand, because I got to be up here with the phone. I can't be back here. Just even if I had a large tablet this size, I couldn't be staying back here and touching the whole screen very well and stuff. So we're like totally neglecting this whole backside and so many things. Tibialis is definitely something that seems to be the opposite of the calf, which I use to move forward. So we can assume the tibialis probably has to do with me doing backwards steps, which we never do. Thus, we don't have tibialises that are built. So all those other things, like you don't even see your back in a mirror. So people probably neglect back as much as they do legs and stuff. And that is definitely bringing in your back into play in that movement, because you're going to have to extend your back further than your back is probably used to being extended as well. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it. I bet you that fixes the bubble gut stuff. You get people to start doing that, they pull back. Work for me. If you put enough time into working out that you look like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. And real simple fix there to try to put that in. Obviously, you got to cut back on it. It's like every little thing you put in here, it's like makes it expand, takes more room and stuff. Right now, I'm like trying to gain a little weight, so I'm like, I like feel that I go through periods where I like hurt because I got to force myself to eat to start gaining, and my body grows down here. And kind of the opposite of what you want is your organs to grow. Especially down here. I think that really helps pull it into place there. It definitely did for me. You can try it out.